In this video today, I'm going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of meeting online compared to face-to-face meetings. And if you hang around to the end, I'm going to share with you how you get free access to my online meeting mastery course to help you improve your online meeting effectiveness. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe below and hit the bell button, and you'll be notified every time I release new content. Since early 2020, our working lives have changed, and who knows if it'll go back to normal pre-COVID. Me as an enterprise salesperson, I was on the road quite often. It wasn't uncommon for me to be out of the house 3 of the 5 weekdays, traveling and seeing clients. But that's changed dramatically. I've barely traveled since. I've been forced to go online to conduct more online meetings. Now, there are advantages of meeting online, and there are also disadvantages. And for us to capitalize and get the most out of online meetings, we need to know what each of those are. So one of the biggest advantages with meeting online is it allows us to communicate information more effectively than what it would be if we were in person. You only need to look at Zoom, their app store, their marketplace, to see that you can easily connect to apps like Miro, Asana, PandaDocs, straight from the meeting platform, and easily share that with your audience. If you think about meeting in person, we're often limited to a whiteboard if we're going to collaborate in person, or potentially connecting our laptop. But it's definitely not as easy because people in a room are sitting around a desk while, if we're presenting, it's up on the screen further away. So meeting online allows us to communicate so much better, so much more easily, particularly if we're on collaborative platforms like Miro. We can share that live document with attendees of the meeting and ask them to contribute in real time. One of the significant disadvantages with meeting online is building trust. When you think about it, 55% of our non-verbal communication is almost taken away by meeting online. For salespeople, this can be a real challenge. Building trust is about reading body language or communicating via body language in non-verbal cues, like being relaxed or being genuine. Being a salesperson is also about reading body language and adjusting your message if it's not hitting the right notes, or it's not being received in the right manner as you would like it to be intended. So we have to think of other ways to build trust online, and that can definitely be done. If we think about the advantage of communicating information, we can build trust online by communicating domain expertise. By communicating domain expertise, it will give recipients on the other end of the meeting confidence to follow us if we're trying to lead them to a certain outcome. Losing that non-verbal communication ability, that 55% of how we communicate, is one of the reasons why face-to-face salespeople or people in other roles that are used to communicating in person really struggle to transition online. They keep trying to do non-verbal communication, but it's not getting picked up through the medium of a Zoom meeting or a Google meeting as effectively as it would be in person. But changing how we build trust by being domain experts in our field is a great alternative to building trust online. I'd love to know in the comments below, how do you build trust online? Is it different to when you're meeting face to face? Do you have a different approach that others could learn from you and apply to their online meetings? Now, one of the other areas that's a real advantage of meeting online is one, that you can have more meetings. You are not bound by travel. And also you can invite people from other areas of the business and other regions who may not necessarily have been able to meet while you're in person. So that could allow you to invite key decision makers from other parts of the business and move the decision along to the outcomes that you need for whatever your role is in the business that you're working. Now, in my online meeting mastery, which you'll find in the comments below, you'll be able to use the agenda set out in the training course to address each person's interest of that particular meeting. probably one of the biggest disadvantages of meeting online. It's really hard to communicate to larger groups of people. When I close my eyes and I'm in a meeting face to face and there's 10 people in a meeting, if I go back and remember, there's 10 people and I can read their body language. I'm not necessarily reading their body language as such, but I'm looking for indicators of something not right. Someone not assimilating to the message that I'm saying, or someone not agreeing with it by having negative body language. It's really difficult to do that in online because people can either go on mute, work on other things, turn their camera off, and you really have no idea of if they're into the meeting or they're not. Now, one of the key things in a meeting as well, when you're presenting on an online meeting, people to ask questions have to butt in because we can't see that they want to ask a question. And although it doesn't mean to, it cuts into the meeting and it can be quite abrasive unintentionally. And I discussed that in the training program as well by using features like raising your hand in a meeting and set the tone of the meeting before it starts, about having people to ask questions that way. One of the key areas or one of the key outcomes to any meeting for any role within any business is to build trust with the people you're meeting with. It's only when there's a trusting relationship are they more likely to do business with you and move forward to an outcome that you want. But by recognizing this online and how we build trust is different or needs to be different because we're losing that 55% of non-verbal communication and we need to build it other ways, will help us get to the intended outcomes that we need. So I've created an online course called Online Meeting Mastery, and it's down below. It's a free course. If you go into that, we work through a meeting template and it will help you incrementally get better at online meetings. I'd love to receive any feedback that you have or any comments down below. And I look forward to helping you improve your online meetings. Thanks.